Excuse me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Najwa Ahdanur Fajrin from class 4D. Due to the effect of the corona pandemic that has been happening for more than a month, I will present a review of a novel in the form of a video podcast as part of the final assignment. I will make a video podcast review about one of my favorite novels that is titled that is Percy Jackson and the Last Olympian. Even though all the series of Percy Jackson and the Olympian are my favorites, but this time I will only discuss its last series. Percy Jackson and the Last Olympian is a fantasy adventure genre novel released on May 5, 2009, consisting of 381 pages, and it's a continuation of the previous series, The Battle of the Labyrinth. It's the last series of Percy Jackson and the Last Olympian's pentalogy. The story tells about Percy and his demigod friends, also the gods and goddess of Olympia, to defend the city of Manhattan and Mount Olympus from attacked by Kronos, the king of Titan's troop. Richard Russell Riordan Jr., or often called Rick Riordan. He is an American novelist born in Texas on June 5, 1964, and he is the person behind the story of Percy Jackson and the Last Olympian, and another previous series from his novel, The Last Olympian. He also won the Wyoming Soaring Eagle Book Award in 2011. Besides Percy Jackson and the Olympian pentalogy, he has written other stories such as The Kane Chronicles, The Hero of Olympus, The Trials of Apollo, and many more. He actively wrote from 1977 and still actively writing until now. For detailed number of sales from Percy Jackson The Last Olympian series is unknown, but at the time of release, this book entered the first place from USA Today bestseller, first place in Wall Street Journal bestseller, and first place in Los Angeles Times bestseller. This series has not yet been made into a movie, but that possibility could have happened because both the previous Percy Jackson series, that is The Lightning Thief and Sea of Monsters, were adapted into movie in 2010 and 2013 ago. For the trend in this novel, setting is made by following the lifestyle of modern American today, which is no different from the everyday life of modern American society in general. The fourth point of the discussion is the escapism. Escapism in a novel is the part where you as a reader feel carried away in a fictional atmosphere and forget the reality of the real world around you when you read a novel. And the escapism element I got from reading this novel is the fantasy genre that is combined with elements of mythology, which feels like entering the world of fantasy. And I feel that actually. So which is believed by the Greeks, and the fantasy of this novel is the kind of fantasy that believed by the Greeks thousands of years ago, where gods and goddesses, monsters, and other mythological creatures live alongside humans. But in this novel, the fantasy elements can be felt in the modern world. So the genre of the classic fantasy and the modern world is mixed in this novel, and the adventures present in the story also seem can bring readers to visit some place that only exists in ancient Greek mythology, such as the underworld, Poseidon Palace, or Olympus Mountain. That and the kind of place is only you can only find that kind of place when you read some historical book about Greek mythology. The fifth point is hero and heroine's appearance. In this novel, there are other aspects of the two main characters, hero and heroine, in this novel. That is from Percy and Annabeth as the main male character and female main character. Percy is the main hero character who has the magical ability to control the sea or water because his father is a Poseidon, the god of the sea from the Greek mythology, and his courage to challenge and Perseus' courage to challenge gods and mythological monsters. He is also good at using his sword, the riptide. Although behind his bravery, he is just a 15 years old teenager and can even act calmly when facing the prophecy of his death, at will, which will occur in 60 years. 60 years old. Then Annabeth as the main heroine in this novel. She is told as a child of the goddess Athena, who has the intelligent and fighting skill, also expert in making tactics. She is a close friend with Percy, and her character and her quick thinking make her look like a strong and tough girl, and often saves Percy from danger and his own kindness. But one thing that me as a writer don't like it from the Annabeth is Annabeth's tendency to be unstable when dealing with her personal feelings, because in the story of this novel, that trait sometimes endanger Percy and also herself. For example, in part when they encounter with Luke, and they must fight him because Luke has been possessed by Kronos, and Annabeth, who still has feelings to Luke, hesitated to fight him and almost make her and Percy got killed. So the sixth point is familiar or unfamiliar plot. So in other stories or novels that have a genre fantasy and adventure, and the character is a heroes that have to do with property, the that usual kind of story will have a plot that will be created where the hero will make attempt to make the property come true, or vice versa. Like with this novel that has a plot that is familiar with most fantasy novel and adventure novel, like I like I say before, where Percy as the hero prove the prophecy becomes true, but in another way without sacrifice himself. Why I say sacrifice himself? Maybe for you can read it, you can read this novel from the first series, and and you will guess the normal way when you see a hero is facing a dead property for himself. But when you read the last series of this novel, your guess will almost wrong. When I can say this, your guess will not be same like before. The seventh point is the power of setting usage. So from the beginning of the series, the settings are described in detail with no exception to the last series. The reader can easily imagine how the setting and what happened to the story, because this novel is also included with several supporting illustrations. But when the setting is telling about the human world or the god or goddess world, so when you read this novel, you will often find in some pages an illustration that that makes you that help you to imagine what kind of setting and what kind of situation that faced by the characters in that novel, and so that readers can feel like enter the atmosphere of adventure and fantasy that is written. And if you have read the series before, it will be easier to imagine the setting that reappear in this last series. So in this last series, the setting is in this last series, the setting is almost likely have been what you can say mentioned in the first series. So maybe if you just read the last series, you will be confused because you didn't know what kind of setting that is mentioned in this novel, because the setting is explained before in this first series along with the other series. Okay. The 8th point is the power of choice of words. So the power of choice of words in this novel is the use of flanger used to tell stories from this novel is sometimes influenced by casual language usage because the novel is told from Percy's point of view, so the delivery of the story is more similar to the way a teenager commenting or talking about a situation. So the story is told by the Percy perception, and sometimes when Percy thinks something about what the situation he must face, and when he is in danger, sometimes he will add explain with a bit comedy with that from his commentary that reader can often find his commentary is a little bit funny. That's my opinion. Actually, I don't know if other reader can. I don't know if other reader can also think same like me. But myself is. But I think is when I when I read his when I read his when I read that novel, and I find some of his commentary is a little bit funny. So the 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 making the novel is the choice of word of this novel make the novel easier for readers to enjoy without being obstructed by some difficult words. So this novel is very easy to read, and you will not find many difficult words. The ninth point, and the last point of this discussion is the characterization. So the characterization of this novel is explained by one thing that makes the characters in this novel unique is the thing that distinguishes normal human from demigods. Despite having strengths beyond normal human abilities, the demigods have weakness like a normal human being, and this weakness is like a disease normal disease for some people or for some normal human. That is a dyslexia disease. So it makes the demigods unable to read alphabet, but they can only read in ancient Greek characters. So maybe you have known when you see, maybe if you haven't read the novel, but you have seen the first movie from the first series, The Lightning Thief, and you can see when Percy have a difficult to read and pay attention when he is in a class, and sometimes he difficult to see not to see, but to read like a normal people, because in this novel itself, the author explained that the character he make have this dyslexia disease. So that but that doesn't mean the character cannot read or write at all. They can read, but only when they read the ancient Greek characters, not the alphabet like we not and not with the alphabet like we usually use. So we already come to conclusion, and my conclusion from this video podcast I already made is, although this video discuss about Percy Jackson and the Last Olympian, but you cannot separate it from the previous series because the story is connected to each other. And if you haven't read this novel, I would recommend reading this from the first series until the last, because you can enjoy the unique story and the unique characters, and also you can learn about the Greek mythology that provided by this story. So that is all from my podcast video. Sorry if I make mistake of my words. Thanks for watching and listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.